we cannot say that Islam is two sectors. As I told you, Islam is just one book, and this is the only source of Quran. Muhammad, by the way, is only a prophet. We believe in God and Quran, and we believe that Muhammad and the Christ and Moses, they are all prophets. So we cannot say that Muhammad has a sector and another one has another sector. This is not. This is maybe some. People say this, but this has nothing to do with the truth. Muhammad is the prophet of God for Islam. Some Muslims, after the death of Prophet Muhammad, were very disappointed, and they followed Ali, that he was his cousin, and they thought that Ali should be his successor. But Muhammad, before his death, he chose the most qualified one to follow him. He didn't choose his cousin. So many Muslims were very angry. How come he should inherit him? This is his cousin. And there was like a group. They followed like Ali, and Ali himself told them, we should just follow what the Prophet says. He knows better. And from that time, these groups, later, they become called Shia. And they are change a lot of things. They change a lot of verses from Quran, and they have their imams who are very fanatic and become extreme and become countries like Iran, and they started to be a completely different religion. When I see the Shia in Iran and what they do, I think the Christians of Egypt are much closer to Islam than the Shia, and they do very strange things for us as Muslims, and I think they went very far away. By the way, there is no Shia in Egypt. We are only moderate Muslims. I don't like to call us Sunni or Shia. Yes, they divide us and they say Sunni, and in Iran they are Shia. But if you understand the religion and if you can read Quran, you will understand there is only one thing. We shouldn't be having two sectors or two sections. There is nothing like this. We should just believe in God, and we shouldn't be following people. Any other questions?
So I heard that someone said, maybe it's just a misperception, they say women cannot be leaders or rulers of the country or things like that. Is
Women
there something
cannot be leaders.
and the rulers of the country? Is that something also misperception or something recorded in the Quran?
No, in the Quran, I don't recall anything that the woman shouldn't be a leader in any way. There is nothing like this. And in the Arabic history, in Egypt, we have a queen, Shajarat al-Dur, she was a woman. And in ancient Egypt, 7,000 years ago, we had Hatshepsut, and we had Nefertiti, one of the most amazing queens and strongest queens. So it's nothing to do with religion. There is nothing in the Quran that tells us that the woman. No, the Quran talks about that we should give love and attention and care to the women and take care of them, and this is, and educate them and help them as a father. If you are a father, for example, you do your maximum to support your daughters. You do exactly as you do with your boys. So there is nothing in the Quran. But to be honest with you, in some cultural societies, we have an issue with this. I agree with you. Even in the ancient Egyptian time, when Hatshepsut wanted to be queen, she started to dress like a man, to have a beard. Go to the Egyptian museum, you will see Hatshepsut behaving like a man. This is something cultural for the society. It's nothing to do with Islam or Christianity. But in Egypt, if I can talk about my country, we have many women ministers, maybe than the men. Look at the Egyptian cabinet, you will find many women. Sometimes personally, I disagree that some of them are not qualified enough to be in these positions, but many heads of universities are women in Egypt. So we have governors, women also. I think Governor of Al-Bahira, the city between Cairo and Alexandria, she's a woman. So, and in the elections, the women can candidate. In the parliament as well, many women. So, on the contrary, I think in Egypt maybe we exaggerate in giving the women a lot of leadership positions just because they are women.
What about the role?
And I think it shouldn't be. It should be we choose the woman because she's qualified. But look at the Egyptian cabinet, you will find many women. Unfortunately, some of them are useless. But they just choose them so because they are women, and they want to say we are very open-minded country and we have women. I don't think it should be in this way.
What about the people who interpret the Quran? Are they normally always men? What was the
Imam.
name of it? The Imam?
Most of them are men, but this is because they are clever, not because we don't allow women to read the Quran. Anyone can read and translate and make whatever he likes. But men in Egypt, the famous scientists in Egypt who got Nobel Prize, men. But Nobel Prize, they give it to men and women, but it happens that the clever ones were men. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
For example, when I choose to go to a doctor, I ask, and if they told me this woman is the best one in her field, I will just go to her. We don't have a problem with this, but I think because many people ask questions like this,
Yeah.
and European countries sometimes I see them when they come to the Middle East, they start to behave as if we are suppressing the women, and some countries, unfortunately, they start to react to give the women any positions just to make the foreigners see us in a nicer way, which I believe is also wrong. We should give women positions when they deserve it, not just to make Europe and America feel comfortable. And I can tell you now very comfortably, we have more women as ministers, but I know that they are not qualified enough to be in this position. So this is something that doesn't make me happy when we have women in position who are not qualified.
But is there any female imam here in the country?
You have to
Not
understand that
famous.
our culture is different. Many women here, I have 3 sisters and I was raised by a single mom. So many women here, they believe that they should be staying at home, taking care of the children. Many of the women here are very feminine and they just want to live like a woman, taken care by her husband. Many women, when they marry here, they stop working. So the mentality of the women here, not because of someone is telling them, this is the mentality. It's like in some Eastern Europe, the women in Eastern Europe is not like the women in Norway or England. They are different. So the women also in the Middle East are different. If you have friends, women in the Middle East, they will tell you, many of them, they just want to have children and stay at home. And some other women in Egypt, they want to have a career and to be successful and very ambitious. But we have many women that once they finish university, they don't work and they stay at home and they just do as a mom, or as a many. So this is not our fault, that some women, they are just lazy or they just don't want to do anything. And in Egypt, they can afford to do this because according to our culture, the man is responsible. Even if I'm married to a very successful woman, I'm still 100% responsible. So some women, they feel, I don't need to do so much.